A very good afternoon, our dear viewers. Welcome to today's news updates at 1 with me, Eunice Mutua. Now on to our first story. Lobby groups from various sectors organized celebrations across the nation as the world began 16 days of protest against gender-based violence, calling for coordinated efforts to eradicate gender violence in the nation. To discourage perpetrators, the Kenyan Women Parliamentary Association wants the government to come up with laws to fight against gender-based violence and femicide. Here is the story.
From last year, September, to this year, August, we've had 643 cases, reported cases, please mark my words, meaning that there could be other cases that have not been reported.
The femicide report shows that in 2023, 51,100 women, girls worldwide, were killed by intimate partners or other family members. So those most, they should be able to trust and connected to. That number represents 60% of the female homicides worldwide. So again, more than half of those women who were killed by those, again, in their homes or those that related to them.
By the time it culminates and ends up in femicide, they have tried to report. And women reporting is never taken with the way that it needs to be.
The one challenge is FGM. Because that is a crime that is perpetrated by other women.
Kwa wale wanafanya hiki kitendo cha unyama, gava iweze kutusaidia, waweze kupatikana. Juu 1 month ago deliverance hapo kwa Wangware pia tuliweza kupata msichana mmoja pia aliweza kuchinjwa na kutokea alikuwa anauza watermelon kwa Wason. Hatuwezi jua ilifika jinsi gani naye tena akakidnapiwa akachinjwa akarudi kutupwa hapo area.
Hata hapa kwa Wangware kuna wale nimeenda Mbagathi, ikabidi wakati naenda kuangalia msichana hakujua ameshatolewa organs. Wazazi wengi hawaangalii kwa ubavu kama huyu mtu alipasuliwa. Kumbe hapo ndiye alipasuliwa, waliondoa, wakashona.
The issue of femicide should have a special unit within the existing institutional structures, be it at the DCI, be it in the investigative agencies, because of the nature, especially when it's amongst the young people.
Now, in a developing story, the prime suspect in Florence Wanjiku's attempted murder, businessman Elias Njeru, surrendered and turned himself into the police custody and later taken to court. After pleading not guilty, the defendant was released on a cash bail and issued with a restraining order. Here is the story.
He proceeded hitting me on the head, using his hands, pulling me outside. Hapa ndipo nilisikia ananikatakata. So I tried to protect myself with my hands, and I lost my fingers, all of them in this hand. The remaining one are fractured. I'm really trying to seek for justice, and I really want my kids to be protected. This is the first time to be physical, but the threats have been there. It's all about himself and what he wants, and that is what he should do.
It is unfortunate that this happened almost immediately after the head of state released a statement in Parliament condemning all forms of gender-based violence.
No reason has been given by the prosecution to compel this court to deny the accused person bail or bond. There is no reason that has been given, and so I will grant the bail, a reasonable cash bail of 500,000 with a surety of a similar amount and cash bail of 200,000. The accused person is instructed not to interfere with the investigations that are still ongoing, and he should not go anywhere near the complainant or the victim of this case. Those are my orders.
Is ready and willing to cooperate with the investigative authorities for purposes of determining the events of what really happened on the 21st of November.
Amid worries about the condition of the nation's higher education institutions, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is looking into 18 public universities for corruption. One of the most recent revelations is that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology is under the EACC's scrutiny for 2.6 billion shillings in graft and for allegedly bribing them way onto the graduation list, which allowed more than 200 unqualified students to graduate. Here is the story.
Corruption and unethical conduct have found their way into our universities, and this is compromising and threatening the quality and the standards of higher education in the country. At the moment, EACC is conducting investigations into various forms of corruption, theft of public funds, academic fraud, and unethical conduct in 18 public universities.
There are people that you respect them, and yet you find that they are involved in all kinds of negative practice of corruption, embezzlement of funds, fake certificates, and all those kinds of things. And you wonder what has gone wrong with our society.
University officials allegedly colluded with consultants and contractors to defraud Jaramogi University of money amounting to 2.6 billion Kenya shillings. And that is in the implementation of 6 capital projects in the university.
The destiny of thousands of students is in uncertainty as public university lecturers return to work on Monday alongside their Moi University counterparts, promising to remain in their current positions until their demands are fulfilled. The management of Moi University and its employees are still at odds over payments of 8.6 billion shillings for salaries and other obligations. Meanwhile, the Moi University Alumni Association is calling for Professor Isaac Sanga Koskei, the Vice-Chancellor of the university, to be fired. Here is the story.
Solidarity forever. The problems might be deeper. What has he done about them? To improve, about the problem. And then also, you cannot keep telling us that a university has been humiliated in the manner that it has, and you're still staying put. In this country, where is the culture of resigning? Ukishindwa na vitu, you resign, and you let someone else more competent than you to come and handle the situation. Why should we throw taxpayers' money into a hole that we cannot get inside? That we want to get inside that hole, and we are told no, they are gatekeepers to that hole. Then run the university using the village money. Don't run the university using national taxpayers' money. We have watched in the past people make very reckless remarks, and they walked away with them just because they are politicians. We are saying no. We have students from South Africa in Moi University. We have students from all over the world in Moi University. We will not admit nationally and run the institution like it is a village university.
We will not sit and watch Moi University go down the drain. So drastic actions have to take place. We want to thank the minister and the PAs for the steps they have taken. We have been assured that our students will be able to continue with their education.
This delay has caused us immense mental health pressure, has caused us to miss a lot of opportunities. Our demand is just one. We want to go back to class.
According to President William Ruto, in order to increase their capabilities and generate employment in the nation, public universities will now form public-private partnerships with the manufacturing sector. President Ruto acknowledged that there are millions of young people without jobs in the nation and that the government will create more initiatives to help them find employment.
We said that we need to be deliberate, to be intentional on where we are going to create jobs, how, and be scientific in how those jobs are going to be created. And that is why we have focused on areas that are intentional about creating jobs, whether it is in our housing plan or in our digital jobs agenda, or in our export of labor program, we are intentional on where we are going to create jobs because, as Chancellor here said, it is jobs, jobs, and more jobs.
However, the Council of Governors says it fully supports the new health plan, claiming it will improve Kenya's healthcare system. Faith-based medical facilities claim they have received 958 million of the 3 billion shillings that were owed to them under the new defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund. The facilities claim that only receiving the 32% payment is making it difficult to run their day-to-day operations. Here is the story.
Thank you for the support you've been giving us. 958 million that were paid out to faith-based claims from the facilities. We are totaling 4 billion Kenyan shilling.
It does require a lot of patience, but sometimes we feel like the patience is wearing out because our facilities are moving into unsustainable unsustainability moving forward.
The shift contributions will be used to pay SHA benefits so that we don't get into a situation of arrears with the new dispensation. And as we continue now to consistently follow up and get commitments, and we've given a proposal of the timelines. We are hoping these payments can be made. We have proposed that we work with March of 2025.
These claims under SHA and all the payments that come through the healthcare system should count for us in OSR because we are under a lot of pressure as counties to increase our own source of revenue.
After sports, preparations are well underway to implement the 2022 report on gender welfare and equity in sports. To combat the rising incidence of gender-based violence in sports, CS Kipchumba Murkomen established the Gender Protection and Implementation Committee. The group, which will examine and create policies to stop gender-based violence in sports, will be co-chaired by CS Murkomen and marathon legend Catherine Dereba.
I am committed to be the voice of the voiceless, to say that GBV has to end.
Being human beings who have sisters, we have children, we have, daughters and all this. You even wonder why it has taken us this long to be able to bring this team together, at least if for nothing else to mitigate against the violence.
Soon after their careers come to an end, or just before, or when their fortunes begin to dwindle in terms of in the race, some of these men who pretend to have been their coaches, spouses, husbands, partners, they quickly start running away with their wealth, registering their properties in their names. In fact, they force them to register their properties in their own names.
Tuko on air. We have come to the end of our news today, and remember, do one thing that scares you every day. Thanks to all of you who have watched these news updates at 1, and do have a good afternoon.